Hi, welcome to automationtesting.in. In this video, we will see API testing best practices. So when you're doing API testing, so you should follow some best practices to test properly or correctly. So for that, so let's get started. What are the points we need to consider when you testing an API? Okay. So API testing best practices. Okay, we'll see point by point. The first one is you should be very clear what to test and what not to test. Okay, when you have an API, you'll have some information about that API to test, right? What API that is. So you should be very clear when you're testing an API. So should be very clear what to test and what not to. Okay, that's what not. So while testing only, you should know. See, don't do unnecessary testing. All these things. What you want to test, you test. That is, you should be very clear while testing. So you'll have some test data. So for that, if possible, use realistic data. Use realistic data. So sometimes people will the high level management accepts they'll expect you should use the production kind of data, means what exactly the users the data will be available in the production, you should use that kind of data. Then you'll come to know that exactly the outcome is coming or not. Okay, instead of dummy data, so according to your API, you try to use some realistic data. Okay, so don't repeat yourself, means you don't test the same thing again and again. Okay, so wasting your time. So you should be, that is what you should be very clear what to test and what not test and how to test. Okay, for that use your realistic data. Write so you have to write clear tests that easily enable debugging. Okay, so you have to write clear tests that easily enable debugging. So you're writing some test case, that is fine, but after some time if you found any issue, you should be able to revisit and you should be able to understand what you have written. So in easily enable debugging means you should understand what you did. Okay, so that's how you need to write your tests. So write clear tests. Okay, in the future also, if somebody looks into that, they should be able to understand what purpose you have written this test case. Okay, so design the tests to run under different system under test configuration options. Okay, under different system under test configuration options. Okay, if you have different options on the system you have to test, so the way you design the test should run for these different options. While designing only, you should design in such a way, design the test to run under different system under test configuration options. Okay, so test positive and negative outcomes. So you should have a positive test cases and negative test cases. You should test your application with the positive and negative outcomes. So normally you know all these things, you will use all these things, but putting in a separate, what you say, like like this, makes you understand that what are the best practices. So while testing, you know, right, what you need to test. So but you may not use some realistic data, you will use some dummy data. So instead of that, you use realistic data. So while writing, so you might be in a hurry. Okay, there is a release. You might be in a hurry. Then you will write some kind of steps that can be understood by that time only. So after, if you revisit the test case, what you have written, sometimes you will not understand. Okay, so that should not be happened. So the same thing, you will follow all these things, but while doing only, you should follow something, then it will become the best practices. Okay, test positive. Normally you will do positive testing and negative testing, right? But when you testing, you should consider both the things definitely. Okay, because of doing something testing, you only consider positive testing, or sometimes only doing negative testing. So that will not suffice the testing the proper way. So that is the reason you should consider all these things. I am just putting together all the points. That's it. Okay. Negative outcomes. The other point is use data to drive dynamic assertions. Okay, if you give dynamic data, you will get the response, but how you will assert? So you should handle that way also. For the dynamic data also, the response will change. So according to that, you need to handle that. Whatever is the data what you are sending, whatever the data you are getting, that is correcting according to your input. Okay, what request you are sending, the proper response you are getting or not. So use data to drive dynamic assertions. That's how you need to prepare the data. So the next point is track API responses. So you will definitely do that, but our duty is to see how the response has come. So, but you need to track all the things, whether it is correct or not. So test the API for failures. So until you get the output as failed, means you should try for the fail scenario also. In which way you're able to fail that test case. So test the API for failures until you get the output as failed. Right. So then we can say that thoroughly we are testing that API or whatever it is, the functionality. And then reuse test cases and monitor API in production. Okay. So reuse the test cases whenever there is applicable. Otherwise, you wasting your time, and duplicate code will be there, duplicate content will be there in your test case. So, and then you monitor the API in production, how the API is working in the production. Okay. So you will have some lesson lens also. If you look into the production, if there is some failure, if it will come to you, so you'll come to know, okay, because of why this failed. Then you'll investigate, you'll find some issue. Okay, I missed it. Otherwise, so we need to consider this one also while testing other APIs. Okay, that is the reason you should monitor how the API is performing in the production. Okay, so you can consider these things when you say API testing best practices. These are the 10 points. Okay, you will do anyhow all these things, but be cautious and be what is a focus while doing testing, and consider all these things so in detail. Okay, you say the second point, if you take use realistic data, you will use some data, right? Without the data you cannot test, but while using the data, try to put realistic data. You will test, sometimes you will only test positive outcomes, so test for negative outcomes also. That's how these are all called best practices to test an API properly. Okay, that's all in this video. Thank you for watching this video, and please subscribe to my channel for further and interesting updates.